Hello everyone, my name is Easy People, and today we're going to talk about what if Deku had alchemy. If you're wondering why I'm not on God of War Ragnarok, I can't talk during it. Like, I tried fighting Hermes without trying to talk. It wasn't happening, so let's get started. After Deku's hears the door knocking, he gets up, and then he opens the door, and then he sees it's Shigaraki, and like, what's up, Shigaraki? Hey, Deku. And then, he walks in. Of course, Deku says, like, you wanna come in? Yeah. Alright, come in. And he sees the dog. What's with the dog? It's staying. Hmm? You serious? Yep. And then Stan says, yep. Alright, cool. I want to talk to you about something, Izuku. Right? It's weird to call me Deku and then Izuku, you know? I don't know, I thought Izuku would work better. Did it work better? It did. Alright. And Deku sits down. Says, so, do you have something you want to say to me? You had something you wanted to say to me? Well, I'm going to attack your trip afterwards. After the, when you go to your training camp. He's like, 1 second. Huh? Like, he just gets up from his chair, walks away, opens a cabinet, then a sharp tool, then like picks up a knife, and then Shigaraki hears glass on the table, and he hears then he hears a big glass hit the ground, and then he hears a popping sound, and he hears pouring, and then Deku walks back with a wand bottle in hand, with also a wine glass, puts it down, puts a wine bottle down, man spreads, like, largely. We have, like, a POV towards his feet toward his face. And then he just grabs the wine glass. She goes, shouldn't you not? And then he just drinks it. He slams it on the table, like, why? Why are you attacking? Fine. There was this kid named, Bakugo, and he was revived from you, and which told us that he was a very important part of your life. Like it says, he is. Like, death stares Shigaraki for a second. Don't worry, we're just asking him to join us. He'll still be himself. It's like, alright. Still, why? He's a robot. There's not really a lot of uses you can get out of that, but, you know, do what you do, but, like, could you, like, go after anyone else? To be honest, Izuku, this wasn't my plan. I was just gonna terrorize you guys without killing anyone. And I was just gonna terrorize you like in those old cartoons, you know? But now, my master is telling me to get more ruthless to show these heroes the consequences of leaving their kids unattended. Which I don't care about. I just want to terrorize people without killing. Alright. I'll keep a lookout. Alright, Shigaraki? Alright. I, probably should tell you about the new task works I got. So I got this new guy named Dobby. He shoots blue fire, so be careful of that. Got this other guy named Muscular. He's pretty disgusting. I think he's a pedophile. I don't know. What? You can't just gloss over. I can, and I will. Alright. I think it says, well, I have this girl named Toga. She's strange. And I also have this other guy named Repressed. She's pretty nice. Oh, Stain. Stain, like, hey, Stain, like, yells out. It's like, Stain shows up, like, yes. You know, someone took after you. His name was, Spinner. He's part of my group. Is that so? Well, I'll have to see this guy on camera someday. And then I also have this other trans woman who, I have this other trans woman. She's pretty chill. I don't know. You know, you do what you do. Well, now, I'll see you later. First of all, why did you start drinking? Well, it never starts when I was like, I think it was 14. What's that? So like, it's about about 3 years ago. Yep, I became pretty. My head started to get really big headaches, and I didn't know how to cure it until I found this purple, this dark purple color drink my mom used to cool herself down. So I tried it, and yeah, it turns out that wasn't a really important good drink for me to be having right there. So they both look at each other like, man, that's depressing. Honestly, buddy. Sugar Stan's also there, just like, man. And then Stan thinks about his past, about how he used to drink, but he stopped because one day he got lung cancer, and luckily he survived it, but he definitely did not want to go through that experience again, so he stopped drinking. Yep, that's always insane. Still, like, huh. Probably should help the kid with that. Well, him getting lung cancer like I did. I think it just gets up with the wine bottle in hand. Says, well, and then Deku sticks the cork in to the bottle and says, I'll be seeing you, Shigaraki. You can stay here for a bit if you want to. I'll be going to school now. Deku then puts the wine bottle into his backpack. Yes, Deku is a very big drinker. He barely can. He feels that if anything stressful happens, he's gonna need this stuff. And Deku just heads out. Shigaraki's like, man, hope the kid's alright. Hey. After Deku, then we just cut to Deku going on to the bus. Huh. like someone just talked to me. Like then just sits on the back of a bus with Jiro and Todoroki. It's a small trio, but they know it. It's like, you better not tell anyone about this. About what? And like, just pulls out the wine bottle. Like, then pops the cork out and just drinks it. It's like, well, like, are you serious, Mom? Well, actually, it's just Jiro saying that, like, shit. Todoroki's like, looks at the bottle, like, man, I could do that. He doesn't actually ask for it. He still needs to be tippy-top shape when he gets to the area. You know? And Dick puts the cork back on after taking a massive drink of it. And then he just puts it away. Like, I think that was a bad decision. That's weird. This is really strange. I don't know why they stopped moving. Well, this is boring. I'm gonna skip this. Alright, yep. So then Deku just gets a bit taken aback from the drinks, so gets a bit drunk, honestly, and then he gets off the bus drunk. Not drunk, but slightly drunk. And then the area just collapses on him, and then he falls on a ditch. Except then Deku, like, launches himself right towards the bus, almost breaking his arm, but he leaves it, scraping it hard. And then Deku just burns it close. Yeah, more burn wounds. I so needed that, Deku says. Deku just hits the bus with like a curve so it doesn't make a lot of noise. So Deku just sits there on top of the bus for the entire ride back. Deku just like sits there like, man, that was pretty harsh. At least I don't have to deal with that. Deku gets to the area, but then he then jumps off the bus around to the tree line, and then he walks out of it like. But before that, he slightly scratches himself with a rock, so it looks like, yeah, I totally did work. Looks like, hey, you guys got there fast. It's pretty easy for me, honestly. Like, And it's like, yep, I did perfectly fine on the thing. Like, he sits down to have his food. He was allowed to have seconds because he did it so fast. That means someone doesn't get food. I'm kidding. They just get less amounts of food. While Deku gets a bit more food. Basically, he gets like one of the last pudding cups. He gets two pudding cups, then one. So someone doesn't get a pudding cup. That's pretty mean. I won't tell you who. It's not important. Like, it's just after finishing food, he's like, and he talks to Koda. Like, well, starts to talk to Koda, and then Koda just goes, cocks a fist back, about to pop Deku right in the nuts. Then neuter. He's about to neuter Deku for a second here. And Deku just weaves out the way. Ultra Instinct style. And then takes the kid's hat and then leaves. Well, that's what you get for trying to punch a man in his nuts. Deku never wears the hat, he just has it. Like, move, kid. Dick, move. And then Deku just keeps the hat in his backpack. And then Code is like crying because he can't find his mom's hat. Yeah, that's his mom's hat in this universe. And because he doesn't feel bad in the slightest. Remember, he doesn't know that his mom is dead. I could have just goes home. Yeah, Deku's having a good time. Dakota never knowing that he took his hat. And then after class 1A gets there, it's like, what took you guys so long? Where were you? I took the easier way. You know, shooting myself towards the bus, getting on top of it. Luckily, I saw it wasn't there. And the cat people don't care. Saying, good resourcefulness, kid. I was like, thanks. Well, take a eating break. There you go. And then Deku just serves them with their food. And then he goes to bed with and then he thinks about, then he has a dream about Bakugo getting, you know, sucked into this darkness that then makes him lose his glow. And Deku's like, and then wakes up with a hyperventilating, and then it's pretty sad because instead of Deku like getting out of bed to like splash some water on his face, he immediately just punches his bags and opens it, and then gets his wine bottle in front of everyone. Honestly, not in front of everyone because everyone's sleeping, and then he chugs it to almost ending the drink. And Deku just gets absolutely amazingly hammered. Like it's like, and then he gets up out of his bed, and then and he gets out of the house, then shoots himself with a stone pillar up on the building to look at stars, and then Deku just passes out. And I wakes up having a hangover. Well, that's what you get for drinking almost all the wine. Dum-dum. Deku's like, yeah, that was a bad decision. But consequences are consequences, I guess. Deku just gets off that building, thinks his training started. And then they say, nah, you're good. What? Nah, you're good. You can just sit. Deku sits down, takes a nap, and then wakes up to Shigaraki. As I was saying, well, come on. We're gonna play some hide and seek. If you're wondering why I didn't cover the heroes versus Class 1A, it's because it was the exact same as the original. Like, except for the fact that Deku didn't have to take it. So I didn't think I should cover it. But if you're wondering, everyone passed. It's basically just the same as the original. I don't really want to talk about it either, but Deku passed anyways. And it says, well, let's go. Deku then just, sorry, I was checking the time. Deku then gets up and heads with his partner, Urabaka. He's like, well, alright, Urabaka. There's gonna be some villains that are going up here, and we're gonna need to fight them off. Alright? What? Come on, Urabaka. You really need to focus here. I got some intel off a friend. A FOMO into the League of Villains. Into the League of Villains. Into the League of Villains, but so we need to focus off. We don't need to. We need to trail off the. Keep going on the trail. I'll be like. Stay on the trail. I'll be going on. And then Deku just runs to the hill, knowing that Koda goes there often, because they say, well, the kid goes to this mountain often, and the only mountain there is that one. So he then shoots himself towards the mountain, only to see Muscular about to bash Koda's head in from behind, and then Deku stops him immediately, then forcing his muscles to retract, which is really creepy, honestly. And then Muscular's like, what? And then Deku starts kicking in Muscular's arm to break it, but it's not happening, so Muscular throws him off, and then Deku just starts getting beat, punched, wah. And Deku gets grabbed by the leg, and then chucked, just skipped across the ground like a freaking water stone. And then Deku just grabs the necklace of the redstone and powers up. And then somehow his hair grows out because of this. Deku sees this, it's like, huh. Good thing I was carry a hair tie on me. And Deku makes a ponytail. And then he gets strong. Then Deku just suits up into this rocky suit, and then he goes ham on Muscular. He says punch, 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 jab, 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 Glock. And then Muscular gets an upper hand on him, breaking his entire armor set, and he's about to just 1-8 KO Deku. But luckily for him, Koda hits him with a very strong water blast this time. He actually hits him with like a Kamehameha water gun, and it actually pushes Muscular far enough so it dodges, and he gets wet. So not in that way, but in that way. And then Deku just runs off. And then he puts his fingers towards his head, his forehead. I know what you're thinking, but it's not that. And then Deku just then he pushes his head up, which then shoots out lightning to his fingers, and then Deku puts out a soul cannon, electrifying shock, and then Deku makes a electricity ball, and then it hits Muscular until Deku then touches the ground and says Koda to shoot another one, and then Koda shoots another one, but then Deku powers it up with electricity. That bolt was a needle actually, filled with electricity, but he didn't feel it. But once that water hit him, plus the electricity, made a rod. So Muscular then got electrocuted. All his muscles were just burned straight through, and then he passed out. And then Muscular, out of the biz, boys. He smiles like, I did it. Let's go, Koda. And then Deku takes out the hat of Koda's and puts it on him, telling him, let's go. Then he picks up Koda, and then they both run towards Aizawa, which Aizawa was there. And then Deku gives him to Aizawa. And then Deku says, I'm gonna go find Bakugo, alright? See ya. It's like, alright. And Deku then runs into the real Dobby, not the one Aizawa faced. And then Deku just blocks him with a rock blast, which Dobby wasn't expecting. Like, whoa. I don't expect there to be this strong of a kid. And then Deku then runs Dobby's fade. Until Deku's like, it's like, we gotta stop this kid. Come on. Come, Dobby, we gotta work together on this. It's like, alright. So then Compressor tries to touch Deku often. It's like, what are you doing, weirdo? And then Deku just pops Compressor in the mouth, knocking him clean out. And then a marble falls out of Compressor, and Deku grabs it. Well, he tries to grab it, and then Dobby grabs it out of his hand before he can grab it. And then he immediately teleports, knowing, yeah, I'm not gonna win against this kid. But it's like, Deku never knows what that was, and then everyone, even Compressed disappears, and it's like, what the, what? Well, Muscular doesn't disappear because he was just the muscle for the mission. They didn't need him anymore. He did his job, or so they thought. So Deku then just leaves, and then Deku just, man, that was quick. And then Deku just goes to his home. Yeah, Deku goes to the hospital, wondering what just happened, and then realizing that Bakugo wasn't there. He's like, Bakugo? Where, where'd you go? And they say he was kidnapped by the League of Villains, and then and Deku screams in anguish with fury and rage in his voice and eyes. And then the crystal Deku was wearing just completely glows pure red. Not pure red, but like, I don't know, emerald red? Just very glowy emerald red. And then they both run fades. And then Deku just leaves. He doesn't even care if there's no tracker. He's gonna find Bakugo because he says so. Until Todoroki shows up to say, I'll help you, alright? The help is appreciated. Let's get started. And then they start gliding around the city until Deku's necklace guides towards an area. And they go into it, busting down the doors, easily, I might add. And then Todoroki easily stops Dabi and Twice and Compress to come near them. And then Deku easily just chops Toga out. And Deku then just, before he just weaves Shigaraki to break Baku's chains. Baku just blasts grabbing Deku and Todoroki until the place explodes. The place explodes and Deku's like, what just happened? And then everyone just appears like, I commend you, new hero. You managed to capture the guy I just captured. I'm impressed. And then All Might just shows up to pop this boy in the face. And the fight that happened in the original timeline happened. And then Deku just sits with Bakugo and Todoroki to say, well, at least we're not dead. Deku just smiles with a dumb grin. You really need some mental help, alright, dude? I know. And just, like, sighs. And Todoroki's like, you still have that bottle? I was like, oh yeah. And then he just pulls out the bottle and just gives it to Todoroki. And Todoroki finished off the wine glass. Actually, no, he finished it, kind of, and then he gives it to Deku again. And he drinks the whole thing, and he's like, Ibaku's like, you're lucky I can't drink anymore. Oh, sorry. And then they both, like, very sad. Ibaku's like, I'm glad, though, because I don't have to worry about cancer, lung cancer, binge, what was it? Oh, stained teeth. I don't really gotta worry about any of that anymore, so kind of a plus, honestly. Because I just picks up Bakugo and Todoroki They both pick each other up, and then both give each other hugs. And then that's where I'm going to leave things off for right now. This part is pretty serious, honestly. Hope you like it so far, because I sure as heck like it. Good day, my fellows, sirs, ma'ams, and whatever you called, I don't care. Good day.